Melodic family. Today we want to talk about how to play rhythmic guitar for 7, how to create rhythmic melody and not to sound too much like you playing only chords. You want with your arpeggios to play in a way that make you sound like a real rhythmic guitarist, which is not only playing chords. That would sound too monotonous and it's not what you want. So let's talk about how you can create easily rhythmic guitar riff that will make you sound professional. What are the principles you can apply for that? Easy step rhythmic guitar playing for 7s. Here we go. I guess at this point you know that the 7 is played very simple progression. We're using major chords, 1, 4, 5 chords in major keys. If you've been following me for a moment, you know that this is not a secret. 1, 4, 5, 1, 5, 4. Many progression, but we're still playing with the simple chords, simple major chords. So actually, the main difficulty you will encounter, I've already said it in the previous video, it will be arpeggios, picking patterns. You need to master them, and arpeggios, all of that in the African rhythm. And as all those chord progressions are not difficult to understand, we're playing simple chords, simple progressions. So what you can focus now is your picking patterns, alternate picking. And you could spend hours just practicing like that. You know, like for a simple chord like a C major, you can play it with a shortcut. You use a shortcut here and you can focus only with the 3 strings there, you know, the D string, the G and the B. And you could be practicing like that. And you could also be practicing with some notes you can add inside of the chord, and that would be something like and this could be an exercise for you just to practice arpeggios. And this is a pattern that you may play in any rhythmic or any solo guitar you can create for these African licks. This kind of pattern very easy to play, pretty popular. You will find it often in African licks. And that could be another exercise for you to practice arpeggios. Because as long as you will need to, you know, to focus on looking on your right hand or your hand which is holding the pick, and depending on if you're right-handed or left-handed. So let's say that if you have to focus like looking at your hand which is holding the pick like that, as long the arpeggios picking pattern won't be natural, you won't be able to play this style of music, you know. And you want to make it automatic. I think you've probably seen many African players, guitar players, they don't have to, you know, look at their right hand or the hand which is holding the pick, because it's natural. You want to make it automatic, you want to make it natural. And once this will be natural, you have to free your mind, free your brain to know how to change the chord and also to appreciate your own rhythmic melody. And that could be an exercise on which you can focus just to master these patterns. Okay, but this is a simple reminder as an introduction to the topic of this video, because actually we want to talk about how to create some rhythmic guitar naturally. What are the secrets for you to play rhythmic guitar easily for this African lick 7 style? But it works for Congolese rumba and it works for any style in which rhythmic guitar is played with arpeggios. Today let's practice in the key of G. if you know the key, you can easily find the chord progression. That's maybe the next step, finding your chord progression. And for that, you just have to listen to the bass guitar, bass line, which help you get the chord progression. So the chord progression may be the deux temps, trois temps, demi-temps, quatre temps, sept sept. And that's the name given for progression. And it's an African way. So don't try to find the logic again. It's just how it's called. Deux temps, trois temps, quatre temps, demi-temps. Okay? So let's say that quickly. The deux temps is 1, 4, 5, 4, 1. Demi-temps is 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 5. This is the demi-temps. Trois temps is 1, 5, 4, 5, 1, 5, 4, 5, 1. The quatre temps is 1, 6 plus 4, 5, 1, 6 plus 4, 5, 1, 6 plus. So the 6 plus, which is a 6 plus degree, like in the key of G, it will be the F major. You know, so the F major to play as a 6 plus, because the 6 is just the E minor. So the 6 plus is the F major. 6 is E minor. I think you get it. And the set set, what is commonly called the set set, is the 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 5. So those are the name of progression. It's in French. One more time. It's not the same logic that in jazz music, what you call the deux temps, trois temps, quatre temps, cinq temps. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. And you need to learn that. Remember it. When you hear deux temps, you know it. 1, 4, 5, 4, 1. Trois temps, 1, 5, 4, 5, 1. Demi-temps, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 5. Once you know the progression, if you're a beginner, your first step is to place the chord. I said it already. Just play the full form of the chord. Okay? Play the full form of the chord at least with simple picking patterns. Okay? As you're playing arpeggios, simple picking patterns like very simple picking patterns. And it's already pretty difficult to play it this way. If it's not natural, it's not automatic yet. And playing this in the rhythm, hear that. If you're already able to play that, respecting the rhythm, if it's already natural for you and you don't have to focus too much on your hand to play that, and you're already appreciating your own music, I think you're ready to go. Because actually playing rhythmic guitar for African licks, it's easier because you mostly play shortcuts of chords, inverted forms and triads. So it makes it easier. Let me show you. So rather than playing the full form of the chords like that, you will start to play shortcuts. So like, how do you play the shortcut like that without the bar form here? Or maybe you can play this shortcut, this triad form. You know, and you play shortcuts because you want to free your fingers to, you know, to add any notes, you know, to do kind of breakdowns, to break down the chords, to break down the major scale, because the notes you're gonna add, I told you, they're all picked from the major scale. You pick them all from the major scale because the major scale is there. You see. Okay, so when you pick, you know, notes from the major scale, you will like naturally, unconsciously, you will learn the major scale playing this kind of African licks. So here are the shortcuts for the same melody, the same progression we've been playing. See, that may be one manner of playing it. 1, 4 from this shape. Then 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 5. Or it could be something like C. You see, or else it could be something like you start with your open string, because open string is already a chord, a G major chord, like those three open string, the D, the G, and the B are already part of the G major chord. So and now we've seen 3 options of playing the same progression, same melody, with different shortcuts, different form, shape of chords. And you will remember that the open string shapes is just like if you were playing a bar chord like that, because if you were playing in the key of A, you would have the same shape, but you will have to press to bar and the 2nd fret. To have the same melody but in the key of A. Well, so now that you know your progression, remember we've started with the key, know the progression, finding the different chords you can play, and finding the different shortcuts. The next step is to try and create the melody to avoid sounding like just chord played monotonously. And now remember that 2 things. First, it's all about notes added from the major scale inside of your chords, your shortcuts of chords. First. Second, picking patterns. Your right hand is about the picking pattern. It's all that you have to know. And let me show you a few examples. So we start from the shortcuts with the open string. Still in the key of G, we have You may not have mastered the full form of the major scale, but at least this kind of melody and riff, you can play it. See, so fun. See. Remember this picking pattern. This is another example. And you have many examples, many ways, many shape, many picking patterns. But starting with those 2 examples may be good for you. I just want you to get the principles because it's very easy. You don't have many chords. It's just the arpeggio techniques, your picking pattern, and the principle of breaking down chords, breaking down the major scale, like pieces of major scale. So start with those 2 examples, and then to improve, the more case of studio you will see, the easier it will be for you to create it naturally. And those breakdowns are still the same every time. Everything has already been played somewhere in the world. So you just have to practice. You pick a few of them because you won't be able to practice all the riffs that have been created by musicians. But you can pick a few of them. One more thing, from the 2 examples I've given you, once you will have mastered them, you could also practice to play them with a delay, the kind of syncopation, playing like in a delayed time. You play them off beats. For example, let me show you. This is when you play respecting the beat, normal beats. Then we play off beats. I played in the same position, but sometime ahead of the beats, sometime behind. And this is how you being creative with the same progression, simple chords. That's the other secret. So ga 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 dun 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 dun. Just try to understand it. Tack 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 tack. When you're playing exactly respecting the beats. 1 4 1 5. Then you can try to beat off beat and like to play with a delay. Ga 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 ga. The same progression. One, 1, 5, 1, 1, 4, 1, 1, 5. You could even be ahead. Two, tack, tick, tack, tack. 1, 4, 4, 1, 5, 5, 1, 4, 4, 1, 5, 5, 1. This principle exists since centuries, and it's called syncopation in jazz music. So I hope with this lesson, rhythmic guitar with arpeggios for African licks, African Seb and Congolese rumba is demystified. Whatever the progression, use the same principle and you will always sound right, good. As always, let me know in the comment section if you've got it. Forget to like and to subscribe if it's not done yet. See you in the next video.